The vote has officially been gavelled. Mike Johnson is now set to be sworn in any minute as the next Speaker of the House. I want to bring in our Capitol Hill correspondent, Ryan Nobles. Ryan, give us a sense of what it's like there in the room at the Capitol and what's set to happen in the minutes to come.
First of all, Hallie, I think the number one sense that you get from almost everyone at the Capitol is a sense of relief, a sense that this is finally over, because there were many days where not anyone could tell you how this whole saga was going to end. And it has finally ended with a new Speaker of the House who has been elected in the form of Mike Johnson of Louisiana. What we're going to see play out here now over the next few minutes is a bit of the choreographing of electing a new speaker. He's already won the job. That's official. They've gavelled the vote in, but he'll need to be sworn in officially on the job. And so he'll exit the chamber for a period of time. He'll then be brought in with an escort committee. And then in what is somewhat of a nice tradition, it will be Hakeem Jeffries who actually introduces him to the entire body, where he will then be officially sworn in, and then he'll deliver opening remarks in his first official capacity as the Speaker of the House. And then it's expected, Hallie, that even as soon as he finishes that speech, they'll begin the process of actually legislating, something that has been paralyzed over the past 3 weeks. And we expect the first piece of legislation to be brought to the House floor is a bipartisan resolution condemning the attack on Israel by Hamas. And that is a very important thing to point out, because it really demonstrates how long that we've been in this paralysis here in Congress. That war happened several weeks ago. The start of that war happened several weeks ago. And the House of Representatives has not done anything to respond to it, even something as simple as a resolution condemning it, because of the fact that there hasn't been a Speaker of the House. So that'll be the first thing they do. And then from there, we expect a press conference where Mike Johnson will answer questions from the press for the first time as Speaker of the House. So that's what we expect the next few minutes to be like.
One of the criticisms, Ryan, that Democrats have leveled at the soon-to-be House Speaker here, Mike Johnson, is regarding his role as a key player in the House of Representatives, backing up former President Donald Trump's election fraud lies. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out, Hallie, that while that is something that Democrats feel as a disqualifying position, there's every reason to be that it is a qualifying position to be a leader in the Republican Party. Of the remaining candidates here in this last round of voting, when we get back to Tom Emmer, who's the current Republican whip, he was at one point the Speaker designate, but was one of only 2 of the 8 candidates who voted to certify the election. And that drew the ire of the former President Donald Trump and many of his supporters, and was a major factor in preventing him from becoming the next Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson not only voted to object to the election results, he also played a very key role in the election challenges through the legal system. He has been described as an architect of an amicus brief that was signed by many Republican members of Congress that was filed in these lawsuits around the country, many of these lawsuits that never even made it into the courtroom because they were thrown out by judges before they could even get to that point. Johnson's not walked back any of his positions related to the results of the 2020 election. He's called it rigged. He was all over conservative media during that period of time, saying that there was a lot of merit to the claims that were put out there by Donald Trump and his associates, despite the fact that there was very little, if any, evidence to back up those claims. Democrats have a real problem with this. They think that this is a very difficult position for him to take and then attempt to be the man in the room negotiating deals with the President of the United States, with the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who is a Democrat, and with others when there's a whole host of things that are going to require bipartisan support in order to get over the finish line. So this is something that Republicans kind of feel that they've moved on from. It's not something Democrats have moved on from. And I'll leave you with this, Hallie. Last night, he was pressed on this. A reporter attempted to ask him about his position on election denialism. He just laughed it off and said, "Next question," and a chorus of boos came from his Republican colleagues behind him. So this is not something that he's been properly pressed on yet, and it'll be one of the things he's going to be forced to answer in his early days as Speaker of the House.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.